Okay, so this is like my third or fourth time starting this video. I don't know which version you're gonna get, but here goes. Because I'm literally trying to talk myself into doing this exact like at the same time. So if you get this version, this is just what you get. I'm sorry. Hi, by the way, my name is Nicole. Let me introduce myself. My name is Nicole. I'm 34 years old. I'll be 35 in a couple months, but don't tell anybody I told you that. And I'm a stay-at-home mom. I didn't start out to be a stay-at-home mom. It never was my intentions to be a stay-at-home mom. I really thought that it would be cool at one point, but like I just got into it because it just happened one day. One day I was at work and wasn't feeling well, and I went to the hospital the couple days later, and I ended up having the virus. And after I had the virus, then I went into a coma for a couple weeks. Okay, maybe like 2 months, but still, who's counting? The whole point is that after I got out the hospital, I couldn't go back to work. So I had to be at home, and here I am, 2 years later. And now I'm at home with my babies. I have 4 kids. Their ages are 11, 9, 7, and 7 months. Yes, I had a baby right after I got out the hospital. That's a whole nother story for another day. However, I started to homeschool because of that, because I refused to send my kids back to school in a world where they would not be safe. And that's all I'm going to say about that. Homeschooling comes with benefits and it comes with the struggles, but the benefits outweigh the struggles. Let me also say, too, I've been married for 12 years, and my husband is very supportive of our homeschool journey. I think he was like a little bit not really doubting it. He just really wanted the kids to have a social life. But kids can be homeschooled and still be social in different ways, and I'll explain that. So you might hear my kids in the background because they don't know how to be quiet, and it's the middle of the day, and the lighting is best in here around now, so I don't want to film at night. But anyway, just ignore them. Pay attention to me. Anyway, so the reasons why I homeschool or why I enjoy homeschooling is one, now that I homeschool, I have a better relationship with my children, especially my oldest, my 11-year-old. We spend more time together, obviously. I'm trying to teach her how to cook, how to be just independent, more independent, washing clothes, and eventually I'll teach her how to manage bank account. I'm going to open up a bank account for her, and teach her how to manage it. I am teaching her how to become a young woman because it is time. And I would rather teach her myself than to have someone else that I don't know who has a bad influence teach them or teach her for me. The same thing with my 9-year-old. So I have two girls, the 9-year-old and the 11-year-old. Then I have two boys, the 7-year-old and the 7-month-old. So that's a good benefit. I get to teach them things that they wouldn't be taught in regular school. I also get to, well, I already said spend time with them. I get to show them things that I didn't get a chance to, show them or be shown by my mom because she had a full-time job and I went to school. So, just taking them different places, like we can go and they can learn in different environments. And I think people think that homeschool has to be like school, and that's not the case. So you can teach them by math by showing them how to cook, and you can teach them science by going out to different places. So I like to take them to different places to have field trips and all that kind of stuff. We have a very different lifestyle than a normal regular school person would. Another benefit is that, especially with Madison, who is my second daughter, she has a really hard time understanding concepts that have to be really explained to her, and then she'll get it and pretend as if she doesn't know, so that you'll kind of like, yeah, you did get it right, kind of thing. And you don't get that in a normal school. So I'm very grateful that I'm able to help her in a way that normal teachers wouldn't be able to, because they would have to spend more time with other students. I also get to make her practice a little more. If I decide that she's not ready to move on to a new concept, then we don't. There is no timeline. There is no, oh, you have to have it by this date. There's also, I live in Michigan, so there's also no mandatory testing. I don't have to make her do something that is not beneficial to her education. I teach her how she's willing to learn. Also, I think that it's really great because, like I said, I can spend so much more time helping them understand the concepts that they're trying to get, and I could try to teach them in different ways. Like, instead of just, okay, well, here's a pen and a piece of paper, let's write it down. I can show her what I mean when I say things. So I think that's a benefit. Some of my kids are visual learners, some of them are book learners, some of them you could teach one time and they catch on. Christian is one of those people who is my 7-year old. And he gets it. He also likes to be a little bit more hands-on, and I find that when he's not challenged, he doesn't act, he doesn't like, he's a clown. So if he's not challenged, he will make you angry by clowning around. But it's definitely kind of funny trying to keep him entertained or keep him challenged enough so that he won't clown around. So yeah, I'm just trying to navigate this life. This is my second year. I started August 2020. In August, it'll be 2 years since I've been homeschooling. I do intend on homeschooling until they go off to college, which they can. It's perfectly legal and perfectly fine to do so in my state. So I do want to continue. Also, we do go to a co-op, and if you don't know what a homeschool co-op is, it's basically other homeschool moms come together, and once a week we teach the kids as a whole in subjects that they wouldn't learn in homeschool. So, for example, my oldest, Kaylee, learns business math. So they're teaching her how to run a business. I think she's running a sports store. So she takes inventory, and she runs advertisements, and she has to add and subtract ledgers and taxes and all that kind of thing. And that's not something that you would normally do in school. So I'm very, very, very happy that she gets to do that. And also, it gives them that one time a week where they're able to hang out with other children. So I really feel like that is very helpful, because that's where they get their social life from. I think it's a myth that people say that homeschool kids don't have social lives. It is very much so a myth. My kids, the girls cheer, and Christian plays football. So usually during the season, when they go to practice, they practice every day a week. And once the actual season starts and they're not practicing and they have games, they're literally, they only get 2 days off a week. So they practice 5 days a week. That's not a social life. I don't know what is. Also, they go to co-op. So they meet kids there. And they go to church, so they see kids there. So my kids have a social life. They have friends that they like to play. I think right now my child is playing Fortnite right now. So they have friends that they play games with, and their cousins stay across the street. So they have a very social life. I guess one of the downfalls of homeschooling would be they eat a lot. So this grocery budget is a lot because they're always at home. So I guess that would be one of the things that's a downfall. It's not really bad to me. I don't consider it bad. That's just one of the things that's a little bit harder. Um, it's not really hard to keep them entertained because they have, like I said, different things that they do with their friends. I would say that would be the only thing. Well, no, the other thing that's kind of messed up is the fact that, or a downfall, is that trying to get other people to understand why you homeschool and talking to other family members, you get a lot of people that want to tell you what to do with your kids. I don't like that. People who say, oh, well, this shouldn't be like this, and kids, they're not social enough, and they're not going to learn enough, and you're not a teacher. And honestly, my kids are learning better now. When they were in public school, their grades were like up and down. And now they're moving on and they're doing really great. So honestly, I feel like sometimes if you listen to what other people say, you will never do homeschool, or you would never do it or take the opportunity or take the chance to do it, because people always have what they want to say to you about your children or what you should and should not do. And I don't listen to them anyway because they don't pay my bills. So there's that. So yeah. And then the other thing is that, with having your kids at home, it's a lot more cleaning. And that's a lot of work, okay? My kids are so active. And now that my 7-month-old is starting to move around and trying to crawl, it's kind of hard because he pulls stuff all day and I'm running after him. And then my 7-year-old is really not, he just doesn't understand how to clean up after himself. So it does require a lot of work with cleaning and cooking and preparing things. But the good thing is that I do have my 11-year-old daughter and she loves to cook. So I give her the opportunity. She usually makes lunch for them. And then I'll do dinner. So that's very helpful. And they make their own breakfast because they're old enough to pour a bowl of cereal or make oatmeal or whatever. So yeah. So I think that's it. I don't want to run this video long because I don't want you guys to get bored of what I'm talking about. We'll see what the next video has in store, and maybe I'll let you guys see the kids. That's it for today. Goodbye.